Dear students, today we shall see one of the prose section. The short story is Bores, which is written by E.V. Lucas. Bores means especially, usually we use the word whenever we feel bored in our life. It was a boring movie, it was a boring class. That way, means especially there are certain people who are very boring, they bore the others. To them, the writer has referred is referring them as a bores. He calls them as a bores. He has discussed about boring people. How do they bore the other people? Let us see. Nobody is ready to consider oneself a bore. Means especially the people who are boring, who make the others bores, those people never consider themselves as a bore. Everybody in this world is a bore in one way or the other way. What the writer says here is that everybody on this earth is a bore in one way or the other way, but nobody is ready to admit to be a bore, but nobody accept the reality that he is bore. Because whenever we are speaking with the other persons, we go on narrating our own story without assuming whether the person who is listening us, he is going to get bored because of that topic. But anyhow, we means this is how everyone on this earth is a bore one way or the other way, but nobody is ready to admit to be a bore, but nobody agrees that he is a bore. In fact, even the greatest bore thinks himself to the most pleasant man. Even the most bore person himself thinks that he is the most pleasant man. One who wants to write something about the bores must have the feeling of superiority and self-confidence. Now he says that if you dare to write something about these bores, then you should have the feeling of superiority and you should have self-confidence in yourself. Then only you can dare to write about on such a topic. And that is what he himself has done it. He has written on the bores. The cause of boredom. Now here he discusses what are the causes of boredom, why the people are feeling bored because of that person. Everybody has some fixed ideas to give. Now problem, why the people are, why do a person becomes a bore? Because every person has a fixed ideas to give, to narrate. It is clear that the fixed ideas of a few are the boredom to the many. So those fixed ideas means these fixed ideas become boredom to the others. Even the pleasant person have some odd personal experiences. Even the person who is very pleasant, he too have some odd personal experiences. Secondly, egotism is the foundation stone of boredom. Egoism is the foundation. Ego is the foundation stone of a bore. A bore believes that his personal experiences must be invaluable and very interesting for everyone. Now, a bore thinks that his personal experiences are most invaluable and interesting to the others, to everyone. He feels that everyone will like to hear his personal experiences, but actually he forgets that whenever we are narrating our personal experiences to the others, they are simply listening it, never they react over it. But what we feel that they liked, they feel pleasant of listening my experience, but that is not the case. Usually they are simply without reacting, they are listening. All the time he is involved in to some experiences, means every time he keeps on telling his experiences. All these he wants to force upon the ears of others, thus creating boredom. Means all the time it is a nature of a man to tell his experiences, and this is how a person becomes a bore. Now, second point, bores are generally happy. The person who is sharing his experience, he will get that pleasure, but the listener will listener is at the punishment place. He is being punished of hearing his experience. So that's why bores are generally happy people. Bores have much to talk about, because bores people talk a lot, but they are lucky and happy because they find easily people who are ready to hear them. And the writer feels that these bores are so lucky and happy because they easily find the people who are ready to listen them. Even the greatest bores are always sure of an audience. Means the greatest bore on this earth, he too get certain people to whom he will bore, and they will calmly listen whatever he is going to narrate the story. We become cowardly before the bores. Not only have we to bear the boredom of the bores, we become cowardly also before them. But what happens here? The person who is listening to these bores, the writer feels that he becomes cowardly. Means he becomes cowardly because he can't react, and he can't straight away tell the bore that I am getting bored whatever you are speaking, better way keep quiet. He can't say like that. Simply silently he keeps on listening them. This is how it is a quality of cowardness. Means straight away what the person who is listening to this bore, he feels that if I will say that I am not interested in hearing your experience, he may get hurted. That's why he don't say anything. He simply calmly keeps on listening, but it is a cowardly act. We lower courage in saying no to them. Means we are not having the courage to say we are not going to listen to you. We don't have that much of courage. Either we have to hear them or run away stealthily at the very sight of them. Then only the option remains here is that we have to hear them. If we have to hear them, or another option is there that we can pass away from there. We can skip away. We can skip that person stealthily. Once a person had to adopt a cowardly device of avoiding a bore. His servant used to take him on the excuse of a telephone call. So usually in order to avoid these bores, just the servants, means especially we can take the help of the telephone call, and we can escape from that place, from that person. Bores should not be made conscious of their boredom. Bores should not be made conscious of their boredom. Means bores should not come to know that because of them they are boring the others. Bores are free and frank. Now these bores people are very free and frank. They are never cunning. Simplicity is their greatest quality. Busy men or cunning people can seldom be bores. Hence, bores should not be made conscious that we want to avoid their company. Now, one positive thing about these bores is that these people are free and frank. They are not cunning people. Simplicity is their greatest quality. Busy men means the person who is not having time to speak with the others, who speaks very less. That person may be a cunning person, not 100%, but may be a cunning person. seldom they are bores, because they are not narrating their experience to the others, they are speaking very less. Hence, bores should not be made conscious that we want to avoid their company. That's why we should not make the bores conscious that we want to avoid their company. So this is what the story of the bores. In the next period, in the next video, I will send you the notes of the poem Unknown Citizen and the prose bores. Okay.